Hey guys, it's Mr. Jomo95. Sorry if I'm sniffling a little bit here. I just being outside and it is absolutely freezing where I live. I'm gonna show you guys what it's like here. Oh man, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's snow everywhere outside. It is freezing, minus 13 at least. Oh man. But I'm gonna do this anyway. This is the This is the RAW review from last night. Alright. So last night's RAW I think was better than 2 weeks ago when Timbaland was the special guest host. Definitely because Bret Hart was back. It felt really good to see Bret back. Yeah, so I got Bret Hart's return here. He just comes out to the ring, starts talking to the fans, really. Then he calls out Shawn Michaels. They have a little showdown, talking and stuff, but it's really cool to see those two in the ring at the same time. I actually thought they were going to start fighting, but then I thought, no, Bret's not going to fight when he's in the WWE now. So they shook hands and hugged. I wasn't too keen on the hug and but I thought they would just shake hands and that'd be the end of it. So after HBK goes backstage, Bret calls out Mr. McMahon, and there's a no-show. Then Josh Matthews goes backstage to look for McMahon, and Mr. McMahon says he's not going to be called out by Bret Hart. He would rather call out Bret Hart and on his own terms. So we're almost at our first match tonight. Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole say that Melina is injured and has to vacate the Divas title, so they're going to have a tournament over the next few weeks with 8 Divas from Raw. The first match here tonight, last night, was Maurice against Brie Bella. A weak women's match, really. Maurice got the win, as everyone suspected. On to the second match tonight was number 1 contenders match for the United States title. MVP versus Mark Henry versus Jack Swagger versus Carlito. What I didn't like about this is it was too short. They could have made it a bit longer. MVP got the win. He'll take on The Miz at some point. I don't know when. Might be next week or something. Then it goes backstage after that. Chris Jericho and The Big Show are backstage talking. Jericho says he's got a plan. He's going to go and see if he can find Bret Hart and see if he just says he's got a plan, basically. Then Jericho does turn up at Bret Hart. Starts talking about the Montreal school job and stuff. Says that, don't you want payback on Shawn to come and be the special guest referee? Bret Hart says no, then insults Jericho. Then we go backstage again for DX. Starts off with Triple H and Hornswoggle. Triple H is just treating Hornswoggle like a little kid. HBK comes, they talk a little. Then Santino comes dressed as Chris Jericho, and that's quite funny. He starts taking to make Chris Jericho. Santino's a good performer. He can't wrestle to save himself, but he's a really funny guy. Yeah, then we go to the tag team titles match. It was a pretty good match, actually. Raw only had a couple of good matches. The rest were pretty weak, but I actually enjoyed this match. Jericho against DX. DX got the win. Jericho is now off of Raw and is full time on SmackDown. Then Randy Orton goes to McMahon's office or locker room or whatever, and says, if you put me, Randy Orton says to Mr. McMahon, I'll kick Bret Hart in skull if you make me number 30 in the Royal Rumble. And basically McMahon just reminds Orton of what he did to his family all last year, and that don't come asking for favors. How long is that left on this? That's fine. Okay, so let's check. Okay, plenty of time. Here we go. Then Orton's just leaving with Mr. McMahon's room, and he's confronted by Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. And they basically say what Orton said last week. Orton, if you don't beat Kofi Kingston tonight, you're out of Legacy, and we're going to give you the beating of your life. I don't know what's happening with Legacy. I think we're coming to the end of Legacy, really. When we're going to see the Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton rivalry, I don't know. Sometime, maybe even get it on at WrestleMania in some sort of no holds barred or something. Alright, then Sheamus comes out, and he takes on Evan Bourne. He just squashes Evan Bourne. But if Evan Bourne won the match, he would face Sheamus for the WWE title at Royal Rumble, but we all knew that wasn't going to happen. Then Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler give a minute to give recognition, to Steve Williams, Dr. Death Steve Williams, who sadly passed away on the 29th of December, just a day after Raw, from 2 weeks ago. So they put a picture up of him and just did his little thing, and it was silent, and it was good because Steve Williams was a good performer, from what I know anyway. I don't know much about him, but I might research the guy because apparently he was a pretty good wrestler. Then on to the main event. Well, the match's main event anyway. The 5th match of the night. Kofi Kingston against Randy Orton. This is match of the night, which isn't hard considering not really any of the matches apart from DX that Jericho is any good. But yeah, it's match of the night. There's some good points in this one. Randy Orton actually manages to block the Trouble in Paradise and hits the RKO on Kofi. And Kofi didn't really go down right. He kind of went down a little funny, but I think he's okay. But Orton got the win. Then it's time for what everybody's been waiting for. Bret Hart, Mr. McMahon, the showdown, 12 years in the making, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. They could have made it a little longer. They could have added a bit more, but it was good. Such a twist at the end. I mean, they shook hands and then they started celebrating the ring. Bam, Mr. McMahon. Shot to the groin area to Bret Hart, and he's down. No, I don't think anybody was suspecting that. I certainly didn't. During that as well, Mr. McMahon announced that Stu Hart will be inducted into the 2010 Hall of Fame. Good to see Stu in there. Okay, so that's Raw. Obviously, I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to get the better ratings than TNA. I think TNA probably stole it last night, considering they definitely had a better show. But still, WWE are still on top. They're not phased by TNA. If they were, McMahon would have tried harder last night. He would even put John Cena on the card, but Cena was nowhere to be seen. I thought he might have came out after the Sheamus smash and they might have brawled or something. He might have got the ratings up a little, but no, there was no John Cena for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, for next week on Raw, if you don't know, Iron Mike Tyson is the special guest host next week. I don't know what kind of impact he's going to have these days. They're not going to bring Austin back again, but that'd be pretty cool to see Tyson and Austin again in the middle of the ring. Never forget that, Tyson and Austin, 98. Just watched it so many times on YouTube and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so he's the special guest host next week. So Raw, better than 2 weeks ago, not better than this week's TNA. Hopefully it can be better next week. I don't know what they're going to do next week, but it'll probably be something like Triple H against Big Show in the main event or something. Or maybe something to do with the Royal Rumble. Maybe the WWE title match will be made as well. Anyway, that's been your Raw review. I'll see you tomorrow with another video review. I'm Mr. Joe 195. See you there.